Hello everyone and welcome. It is back. Finally, the PBA has returned with the PBA Players Championship. So, as this is the first event of the season, I thought it would be something a little bit different. I'm going to run through and break down this entire telecast and kind of watch it with you guys if you're watching it for the first time. Go through each match and break it down as I go. I haven't actually watched this yet. I don't know who wins, haven't seen it, so it's going to be just going through it as it happens, so to speak. So we're going to start with match one, which is Chris Fye versus Ryan Barnes, obviously son of Chris Barnes, and this is going to be a really good matchup. And I think the whole telecast, it's so hard to predict who's actually going to win. I said this in a live stream the other day, that when you have like the first major at the start of the season, you just don't know who's going to come in and bowl well. But there were some fantastic scores throughout, and yeah, these are the 5 players that we've got today. So let's jump straight into match one and let's start breaking it down. And as we see there, 21-year-old Ryan Barnes throwing what looks like the urethane IQ 78. There was a lot of those thrown throughout the week at the Players Championship, along with the Black Hammer as well. First shot for Ryan, and very nice shot there. That will definitely help the nerves. This is his first real, apart from the college stuff, first appearance on the PBA, and the fact that it's in a major. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some nerves there, and you're going up against a guy who, okay, he's only got one title, but Chris Fye is... he's extremely talented, to say the least, and I think it'd be a very difficult matchup for anyone really. But also going with the IQ, there's going to be still anyone who was hoping that urethane was going to go. Well, as you can see, it's not gone anywhere. Even with the hardness rules, everyone's still going to be throwing urethane throughout the season.
The last few years, this guy's been a major destroyer.
I watched some of the highlights throughout the week in qualifying and match play, and I saw a lot of urethane in terms of the red and the black, the new Black Pearl 78. Didn't particularly see too many blues. I think there were some, but I didn't see too many. But certainly a lot of IQs going down the lane.
Chris's home lanes, holiday lanes in Columbus, Ohio.
So Chris also started with a strike, but went a little bit light there, and leaves the 2-pin. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I haven't actually had a chance to throw the red urethane yet. To me, I'm not sure about it. I'm in a bit of two minds. I think I wanted to kind of wait and see perhaps how it rolls with some of the PBA guys, but I don't know. I just think if you're not playing the PBA, I don't think you necessarily need it unless it's a really good ball. I think the new blue is a really good ball, which is why I got it, because I think it's just a great ball. To me, it was doing something different, whereas the 78 hardness stuff, the other 78 hardness stuff, unless it's a really good ball, then I'm not so sure I will pick them all up. Not to say that the IQ isn't a good ball, or the Black Widow. Don't know a lot about the Black Widow yet. Haven't really seen enough of it, but the IQ looks pretty decent. But as I say, I think we're going to see a lot of these throughout the season. And another really good shot there from Barnes. So no early nerves from Barnes, as you might expect. He looks pretty cool and confident out there with an opening double.
It's like looking at
So this is what they were bowling on throughout the week. Nothing too challenging because the scores were just through the roof. Guys were just pretty much averaging like 240 in their sleep, really. High 230s, 240. Wasn't anything particularly difficult. And as I mentioned, a lot of urethane, as you would probably expect, going down the lanes.
That's today's Brunswick oil pattern, and yes, Ryan faced his...
So that was a nice little moment there when actually Chris Barnes had a pretty nice run. Went into match play, obviously faced his son head-to-head in one of the match play rounds, and there he is, watching on. But bowled pretty well throughout the week. As I say, made the match play, and Chris Barnes has been bowling well, and I think he's going to have a lot of confidence because at the end of last season, especially in the senior stuff, he was just bowling really, really well. So I would say, look out. He might well make a couple more good runs throughout the season. Yeah, good stuff there again from Barnes, just to make it the opening 3. But Chris Vi, he's not going to be too phased at this point. He's just going to be getting himself lined up, which he has. Made one little shot on the left lane where it went a little bit light, so expect him to make an adjustment here.
The big change is the amount of oil that's been put down on the lanes now versus back then.
It will be interesting to see who ends up winning this, and then in our next matchup, the lone lefty here.
So that's what he's got. So he's got a Summit Peak, Absolute Power, Eternity, and the Phase 2. Yeah, that looked a little bit of a better shot. Still didn't quite come back. Went light. But it rolled up a lot better there on that left lane. So he's going to have to watch the left lane, is Chris Vi, because he's not 100% confident on it. He got away with one a little bit there with the carry. Went very light, but got it to mix up. So he's still within touching distance early on.
This show progresses is carry down with the urethane bowling balls.
Now, can Barnes continue
to see if it gets tighter down lane than the right lane does?
They see 234 average throughout the week.
Barnes hasn't missed.
Asking it to hook, and it does. I think he thought he just wheeled that and put that a little bit wide, but it came back. So a great start from Barnes.
Can't even imagine what he's feeling right now. I mean, his parents back there, his teammates. He's bowled.
It'd be interesting to see
before, but nothing.
What happens with Barnes throughout the season, and how much I wonder if Chris has sort of been in his ear, giving him some little bit of advice and tips about when he had his first shows, and because he looks very confident and very switched on. Good demeanour on the lanes.
Hey, let's go bowl.
Ended up being the best thing that could have happened to this.
And I think this has been coming for a little while now. So whatever happens for Barnes today. Yeah, another really good shot there. Another really good shot. Getting a little bit pumped up there. Really good shot. Whatever happens to him today, I think we will definitely, this is just the start. And you see his some of his college teammates there watching him on.
Rev rate is way up there, approaching almost 580.
So this is some early pressure now for Vi. He knows his opponent's not obviously nervous. Or as he just pulls back. I think there was some slight distraction in the crowd there.
Yeah, I'll be the hometown favorite.
Where's Pete Webber when you need him?
And she brought cookies.
So any hopes that Vi might have had that Ryan's going to be a little bit nervous, not going to be that switched on? Well, that's not the case here. So Vi's got to keep striking. Just keep that pressure on. Yeah, and he looks perfect on that right lane. My only concern is going to be now on the left lane, because he's gone light, left 2-pin, went light again, but did get the strike, so he does need to make the adjustment here.
Goes about his business quietly and just lets his bowling ball do the talk.
Just taking a little re-rack.
There's his mother.
Mama Vi.
As you said, came with chocolate chip cookies. Angie brings them to all the events.
Just from this first match alone already, we're 5 frames in, halfway through the match, and it looks like this is probably going to be a high-scoring affair, which isn't too much of a surprise when you look at the scores throughout the week. You know, Chris Vi there, what was he, the 5 seed? The 5 seed? He averaged 235. So that sort of does tell you there were some good scores going around throughout the week. And today on this telecast, it's going to be nothing different. And there we go. That left lane. That left lane, I did wonder if it was going to catch him out. I think he got a little bit fast on that one by the looks of it. I'd have to just see that one again, but just never really picked up. Looked about the right area, but that lane was playing so tight, and I think if he got a little bit firm on it. Now, got to convert this. really, at all costs. Yep, and nicely taken in the 6th frame. Well, if Barnes can now put a little bit of pressure on, continue that pressure, maybe he'll be winning his first ever PBA telecast. Little break now, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we are back after the break now. Ryan Barnes starting in the 6th, leads by 24, and is working on the first 5 strikes.
How good has this kid been, though?
Now, can he continue to pile the pressure on Vi? Yes, he can indeed. Another great shot, and it's just been 6 really, really good shots from Barnes. Hasn't appeared to have any problems on the left lane, which is interesting because Chris Vi, you could tell straight away in that first frame, didn't look quite right on the left lane. Got away with it in the next shot, and then the previous shot on the left left the bucket just way light. I think he did get a little bit quick on that one, but Barnes been looking very good on both lanes. Can he make it 7 in a row?
Hours upon hours in the center, 20 to 25 games of practice a day.
And help lead Wichita State to their 13th national title this past year. Ryan is doing something special.
Wow, I'm not really sure what to say. I mean, this guy, yeah, it's strange. When I've watched Barnes at some of the college levels and that, he's always been a player you think, he just looks, he's got his father's approach, obviously. You can just tell it. The first 2 steps, that is Chris Barnes. And maybe his demeanour as well. He just seems one of these guys who just makes it look really, really easy. And he's making it look really easy right now. Yeah, and really another good shot from Vi there. He's been absolutely spot on the right lane. But yeah, Ryan Barnes. All right, we're only in the first match. He's not won it yet. But what a statement to come out in your first telecast and to do this so far. Fair play. Fair play.
In these majors, he has been in position.
Now, I mean, it's pretty much a must-strike situation for Vi, and just hope that, yeah, that Ryan has basically got to open. Ooh, and again, the left lane. Just really been a problem for Vi. And this is the only disadvantage I think that players will have, right, when you're playing on these conditions where the scores are high. And this is a situation really where you want a tough pattern. Because if you struggle on a lane and you can't get lined up on one lane or whatever, you think, well, if your opponent's struggling and the other guy isn't on line either, then you have a little bit more room. But when you've got the situation here where you know players are going to score, like when you bowl on something like the Cheetah and the scores and the telecasts were always so high, you're under so much more pressure because almost like you just can't miss. You can't have a shot where you even just leave a 10-pin because you know your other guy is just going to go and strike out, basically. That's the only thing. But it makes for exciting viewing as, I nearly said Chris Barnes, Ryan Barnes makes it 8 in a row as Chris watches on there. I'm not sure even Chris would have dared hope that Ryan would have started like this, but a chance for, well, I won't jinx him. I won't do the commentator's curse, but we all know what he can do here. But the match is done now, really. Just see it out and make a good shot on this lane.
GoBowling.com will receive a free game of bowling courtesy of Go Bowling. You could hear a pin drop in here because the hometown kid, this is just the first matchup in this Stepladder Championship.
Oh, well. I suppose if he was going to miss, it would have been on the left lane, just because that's the lane that has been causing, well, at least Chris Vi some problems. But yeah, that shot, I'd have to see that one again, actually. Potentially that was a little bit slow as well, but still, the main thing is just take the spare, which he does. Up by 51, and yeah, nice little hug there from Chris Vi. Because what a performance there from Ryan. Just come in straight away, no nonsense, to get the job done.
Talked about using the same ball for all 24 games.
Yeah, great shot. Again, I mean, I don't really think Chris Vi has done anything wrong at all, really. I believe he has. He's struck every single time on the right lane. Just been that left lane. He's had one strike and then 2 nines and a bucket. So, apart from the left lane, really, I mean, he could have had a chance to match what Barnes has done here. He's just couldn't quite figure it out on the left lane. But let's see what happens here on this last shot. Well, it strikes, but again, you can just see how that ball is just not picking up there. It just looked like he even made a little adjustment there, but it still just didn't have any back end. When you look at how on the right lane, you're getting quite a lot of movement on the back end. On the left, there's nothing. There's certainly not for Vi anyway.
Fairly close to North Rock. Great guy too.
The Stars out in Wichita.
Yeah, again, the same thing happened. Just dead straight. So the other players have got to watch that, because I'm not sure if I haven't really seen it too much with Ryan's shot yet on the left lane, but I think the other players will notice what that left lane's doing, because let's keep an eye on that, and maybe some of the other players might be having some similar struggles. We'll see, but it'll be Ryan Barnes moving on and making a ball change here. I don't know what that is.
He made 5 of 7 major championship finals, but this kid is rolling on.
Well, it looked quite good, whatever it was. I couldn't see what it was. I didn't recognise it. Was it a I didn't recognise that ball, to be fair. But looked very nice going down. Worth a try. Something different. Giving Reactive a try. And that's the man. He will face the lone left-hander of the telecast, which could be big. Really big. Not so much... I think when the scores are this high, right, it takes it out the equation a little bit. But if you've got all right-handers and they're struggling a bit, and you're on the left and you're on your own, you can just get in your zone, find your shot, and then you'll be good for pretty much every match that you continue to win. So that can be a pretty big factor. So let's see what he's got, and let's see whether Ryan Barnes can continue that fantastic first game. Right, I'll see you at the start of the second match.
His finishing position at the foul.
Right, welcome back, guys. So we're at the start of match number 2. The lone southpaw on the telecast today. Oh, very nice shot. I was watching actually, because I have to admit, I hadn't really ever seen Nate bowl before. And I watched a little bit, because I believe, don't quote me on this, I might be wrong, but I believe that Nate also was at college. And I think there was some clips of him playing on some of the TV shows. So, but anyway, I was watching a little bit of what he was doing, and I thought, yeah, he looked good. I like his style. Looked pretty good, but that's not the best start. Went back to the urethane, decided that was still the best play, but to me, that just looked a touch inside all the way. Yeah, you can see, yeah, it just looked it was just inside. Just check. Yeah, I mean, could have got away with it. But let's see. Can he avoid an early open frame? No. Okay, so not the best start. But we know he's capable of stringing some strikes together. So let's see how he responds over on the left lane.
He commanded Chris Vi. Was scalding hot to start in front of this capacity crowd. Pops, the Hall of Famer. Chris, Mom Linda looking on. What a day for this family.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, very, very nicely done, Ryan. But he's got to watch out now, because that's 2 shots that have basically pretty much gone through the nose. And could have easily been 2 splits back to back there. Got away with that one. But if I was him, I would definitely be thinking about a change. But this is what I'm about. And left. When the lanes start to break down and they get a little bit tough, this guy is on his own on the left-hand side. And if he's going to throw shots like that, well, he can get comfortable. He can get lined up and then watch out. But I think overall, the biggest challenge is for any of these 2 players now is going to be getting through Bill O'Neill and then Tom Smallwood. Bill O'Neill, I mean, he's just got endless experience. He's going to be incredibly hard to beat. And likewise with Tom Smallwood, you know, he's been there, he's done that as the 1 seed. It's going to be very, very hard, I think, for either of these guys with a lack of experience. Don't get me wrong. They can do it. They've got the talent. They're bowling well. But I think it's going to be hard for them to overcome either Bill O'Neill or Tom Smallwood. But, yeah, great shot there. Making it the first 3 in a row and looking pretty good, to be honest.
Johnny. He's making the T-shirts.
Let's see what Barnes does now on this right lane, because he needs to make a move on both lanes, really. I mean, actually, I say that to be fair. He was a little bit inside on the right lane, so he might be okay. But certainly on the left lane, after going high twice, because don't forget he went high in the previous shot as well. Oh, and he does it again. Yeah, you can just see by watching it how that ball is going down. And you can see the reaction on it. It's like it's picking up, rolling, and then picking up so sharp again on the back end. It just hasn't got the same reaction it did. Almost in the first game, he was almost making it look like it was going really, really long. Great shot, great pickup as well, by the way. Yeah, that urethane was just going really, really long, but it was just driving on the back end. Now it's got this really like sharp motion where it's getting to the end of the pattern and then just bouncing off the end. Obviously where they've just started to burn up a little bit, because don't forget, obviously you had Vi throwing the same ball as well in the first. But that was crucial to pick that up. I mean, that was a little bit harsh, to be fair. I think he made a better shot on that lane. I think it was a little bit harsh to leave the 4-9 again. Yeah, see, there we go. He's in that zone now that Chris Vi had, where he's sort of inside and it's just not picking up. Look, just watch it. Just watch this ball. See, it rolls and it just doesn't pick up. And this is exactly what Chris Vi had. I feel like Barnes has almost got to make a huge move here and just get out of that area, because now he's in that zone of just getting loads of over-under at the moment. I see Tim Mack there on the left-hand side, by the looks of it, yeah. And I did a video on Tim Mack, by the way. If you haven't watched that yet, that's on my channel. Just talking about, is he the best player to have never won a PBA title as a pretty much one of the best amateurs, but could never do it due to a number of different reasons, but never won a PBA title. So I did a video about that for any Tim Mack fans. And that was a fantastic shot there, just right in the pocket. The way that ball finished was just spectacular there.
It's a win for fans and a win for football as the USFL
But just like Ryan in the first game, a really, really strong start from Nate. Just looking very lined up on the left-hand side right now.
Stallions taking on the XFL champion Arlington Renegades. The United Football League this spring on ABC, ESPN, Fox, and FS1. Spring just got stronger. John Fanta, Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler with you. 2024 PBA Players Championship. Nate Stubler right now versus Ryan Barnes. Only 4 remain after Barnes beat Chris Vine. Stubler's been on fire and keeps it rolling.
Yeah, I like that ball. I think I might have to get one of those. Yeah, that looks good. I mean, it just looks so controlled. It's just got such a smooth and predictable motion to it, that ball.
5th in the voting for the 2023 Harry Golden PBA Rookie.
So if anyone out there was hoping that this would be like the 2024 season would be more reactive and not really much urethane due to the hardness rules, well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that's not been the case, certainly so far on this telecast. And I think that I really believe that you're just not going to get rid of it unless you start drastically changing what you're putting down. Because it's a catch-22, I think, for the PBA, because they want, I guess, to have a pattern that on the telecasts that's going to be scoreable and that people are going to enjoy watching. Because as fun as the US Open is, and as good as it is to see these guys struggle, the casual viewer perhaps just wants to see strikes, right? And maybe won't always kind of appreciate that what's going on with the harder pattern. Yeah, good 2 shots there from Ryan to try to get himself pumped up a little bit there. But yeah, much better reaction on both of those. But he's still got a lot to do. He trails by, don't know how many, by quite a few. So he's got to keep striking now just to give himself a chance. But let's come back after the break. Okay, we're back in the 6th now. Nate on the front 5. Leading by 43, as you can see there, after the first 5 strikes.
With a lead on Ryan Barnes, 25-year-old Nate Stubler in year 2 as a pro. The lone southpaw in this field remaining.
Ooh. You just see that. Not sure if he just was a little bit inside or not there. As in, don't think he quite pushed that out enough. Because you could see that really want to hook here. Straight away it wants to hook there, and then it's just gone. So there's still a little bit of life in this match.
The 6-10 and hope one of them bounces out.
He takes care of the 2.
If not, you save count.
So no 300.
And you move on.
But a lead of 28 suddenly. So Barnes is not out of this by any means.
Nate said he's told himself, 2-time All-American at St. Ambrose, to trust himself. He was adopted, and he said God has a way of doing things. His family adopted him. They built and opened Illinois Valley Super Bowl in Peru, Illinois in 1998. So Nate said, I was chosen to be a bowler. And he said, that's the best thing that could happen in my life.
Yeah, really good response there. Just a better shot, I think, on that left lane. Perhaps, I mean, let's not look for things to blame, but after the commercial break, coming back, just didn't really make a very good shot, I don't think. But that was nice.
And that was because they could stay straighter, stay closer to the friction.
But Ryan Barnes is working on a double right now, so these two shots coming up are huge. He can reduce the lead to 8 pins with a double in the 7th and 8th. Still sticking with the IQ. Yeah, better shot. Better shot. He's obviously made some adjustment there because you could see that ball, the first couple of shots on that lane, it was just zipping off the end of that pattern. But that, nice and smooth, just didn't really do a lot, but it just went nice and straight. Hit him quite light, but a much needed strike. Lead is cut down to 18. So this shot, it's a big shot.
On that lane has been Nate Stubler.
And what's been the trouble?
Trouble is tightness down lane.
Barnes.
Oh, he gets away with one there. That looked pretty good going down. And then it just decided it wanted to hook up, which is interesting because he had the exact opposite problem on that left lane, where it just wasn't picking up. But got it that little bit inside. Looked pretty good. And then I thought, oh no, that's gone. Trips it all out, and now we have a match.
No antibiotics ever. Just right, just bare. And a come on to boot. We've got a battle.
Needs to make a good shot on the right lane here.
The top seed, Tom Smallwood, waits last.
Good shot. You can see there the difference between that shot and the previous one on that lane. He actually just pushed that out to the right place. He was almost at the gutter, basically. Whereas the other shot, he was a little bit straighter on it, which is why it just hooked up. But that one, he just pushed it out that little bit. And yeah, that was all the way, really, that shot. So his lead is back up to 18 and a strike in the 9th. And we're back to where we were at plus 28. But now this is in his hands now. If he strikes out, obviously it's he's moving on, but let's see what he can do in the 9th frame. Oh dear. Dear, that wasn't a very good shot.
And that couldn't happen at a worse time.
Look at this shot, how far he got this one out. I said he pushed the last one out. Well,
looked like it was a hair fast and
it had a strange reaction there. It just didn't want to hook off the end of the pattern there.
That includes 48 games. That's incredible.
That definitely has changed things. Unless you can somehow pick this up. Tries to flick it across. Nope, no good. So that's going to be 200. So that brings it to a 3-pin lead. Wow. How things have changed there. Just from where he was in the first 5 frames, first half of the match. After that commercial break, it's been not been great. And Barnes has suddenly found something. So let's see what he does in the 9th frame.
Shouldn't have made that adjustment.
Heard it.
My favorite part of doing this with you. We get to basically live with the players as they're going through this.
And I'm not sure about the adjustment because he had struck every ball on that lane.
Yeah, good shot there. As I was watching that one go down, I was just watching that ball and I thought, you could see it hook want to hook quite early. I say Chris just having a little word with him there.
One strike here in the 10th.
And I thought it might either underreact or overreact there, but no, that was pretty good. I wonder what Chris said to him there. Maybe just a little comment about what he saw or what he needs to do on the left lane. But now he has a chance
standing.
to move on
He was down some
with a
50
strike
pins
and 7
early.
pins in the 10th frame.
Incredible. The Wichita State Shocker, a national champion and All-American. He is just 21 years old. Dad Chris, Mom Linda watching. 2 Hall of Famers.
Nope. No, not
So,
the best of shots. I mean, not the worst, but
yes, it does.
Now Ryan's match score, 224.
again, it's the left lane.
Nate Stubler still 230.
And I said this from the start, that the left lane was going to be key.
Ryan's faced with
And unfortunately for Vi, he just had problems with that left lane to begin with. Barnes didn't. For some reason, he was fine on both lanes. And then in this game, he's just getting over-under. He's just naturally on that lane, right? It's not going to hook. So he's making adjustments to get that ball to turn. And as soon as he's doing that, then that's what's causing it to hook up. Because he's coming straighter. You see he's trying to come a little bit more inside. But there's just not the hold there. It's just picking up. And yet he makes the little move. If he goes back, tries to give it a little bit more room, or picks up the pace, it's not going to hook. So he's in a bit of a bad spot on that lane. But it's not over yet. He just if he gets good count, this is the good count is obviously vital here. Got away with that, but doesn't change too much because essentially now Nate needs to double pretty much. Yeah. So
above 220. But that forces Stubler to double in the 10th frame.
I mean, coming off the back of the last shot, let's see what he does.
No PBA Tour titles, just his second year as a pro, a 25-year-old. 6% of the vote for Rookie of the Year. He felt like he was disrespected. Now is his time.
Has to strike.
Oh, no. Oh, that was a nice shot, though, to be fair. It did end up going light, and he got away with that, but it was... you see, it was a light hit, very light, but got away with that one.
Nate Stubler, everybody back in Illinois is like, yeah, baby.
Didn't think that messenger quite had enough on it to take that out, but he has a chance now with this next shot. Has to have it to advance to face Bill. Bill O'Neill.
I hate when that happens. All right, he's got a strike here. Strike and 5, but has to strike on this shot.
And on the right. You can hear a pin drop. Stubler.
Oh,
Wow,
goodness.
that was a nice shot.
What a shot. What a lousy break.
A little bit unlucky there. Just both of them just ended up a little bit light. That was better. That was a better shot. But Ryan Barnes somehow takes that one. And Chris's face there, I think, sums it up. Yeah, to be fair to Ryan, he had a bad start. He's stuck in there. But now he's got a real test in Bill O'Neill here. This one's going to be tough. All the experience, as I mentioned earlier, that Bill's got, this one's going to be a real challenge. But who knows what will happen. I will see you all at the start of the third game. Okay, and welcome back to match 3 featuring Bill O'Neill, the 2 seed, and this man, Ryan Barnes, who's won the first 2 matches and making a ball change. I believe that looks like, to me, looks like the reality. So I wonder if he's just going to make a change to reactive on the left lane, and then he might go back to the IQ on the right. So let's see what happens there. But 10 pin in his first shot. Didn't look too bad, but a little bit light, and just leaves the 10.
Look out.
And, wow, misses it. So, an early open frame, and this is the sort of thing you can't do against a guy like Ben O'Neill for 2 reasons. Firstly, you can't really afford to give him any pins. And secondly, it just sends out the message to him that, you know, okay, this guy's a little bit shaky, inexperienced, and Bill can take advantage of that. And that looks like the new Black Widow 3.0 to me. Oh, nice messenger there. I wish they would actually... They're probably telling you on the commentary. I haven't actually... Not listening to the commentary right now so much. But they sometimes bring up the screen of the infographic of what's in the bag. I wish they would kind of tell you a bit more, because it doesn't always come up. So then you're kind of having to look and see what they're throwing. But that definitely looked like the new Black Widow, which releases the next week and a half. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the Black Widow 3.0.
That is not urethane. That is reactive.
Oh, a little bit higher there. Yet again, it's the left lane for these guys that are just causing them the odd problem or two.
Ball weight change. Switching back to 15.
Yeah, well, like he was trying 14 pounds. It made his hand too fast at times. And, you know, Bill's tinkered over the years trying to, you know, be the best player he could be. And before last year's World Series, he went back to 15.
And takes care of the spare. So, yeah, I mean, early signs for O'Neill. A little bit cross of that one.
I don't blame him. I mean, you're always
Don't think he was too pleased about the first shot on the left lane, but wanting to take advantage of the open frame, I feel, there.
Here's Ryan with urethane back on the right lane.
So Ryan's back to urethane, but that's not a good shot. That's not a good shot at all. Straight off his hand inside, and pays the price really for with the big 4.
And he's looking at back-to-back open frames.
That, to me, that's the first really bad shot he's put down, where he's just totally missed his mark, didn't throw it right. And that's not the best of starts that he would have wanted. 2 open frames, and like I say, it's not something you can do really against O'Neill, but it's still a long way to go. We saw Ryan come back in the second game when he was really quite far behind. I think he was about 40 pins behind after 5, so he's more than capable of coming back from this, but he's gone back to the reality. Not sure about that. Not sure about that shot at all. That's back-to-back 10 pins. Doesn't look convincing. But you can just tell by the way it's hitting. It doesn't look right somehow. Yeah, just not, just deflecting off the end there. Not really powering through as he takes it. Yeah, he wasn't going to miss that one.
Smile to Pops. It's so fun watching them communicate.
So this is where O'Neill will want to start to stamp his authority on the match now.
What do you love most about this guy?
Bill O'Neill?
But just keep piling that pressure.
Old school. Still works in
Yeah, nice shot. Just about made the corner there, that shot. Didn't think it was going to quite make the pocket. But this is interesting now to see these balls being thrown, because this is really the first time we're seeing a lot of these. Certainly the Black Widow, well, and the IQ urethane. So it's really interesting to see them, especially with the Black Widow 3.0, because that's a ball that I know a lot of you're going to have in your bag. So, you know, it's interesting to see how it's going down, what it's doing. Obviously, O'Neill makes kind of everything look pretty good, but can he make the double? Yes. Oh, I thought that was there. I thought that was there. It was a good shot. I think he liked it off his hand as well.
2009-10.
So O'Neill just looking to take care of this 10-pin, which he does. Good shot, I thought. Better shot. Again, frustration there early on from O'Neill because he wants to start basically stringing strikes together to make Ryan Barnes pay for his mistakes. And so far that's not happened, just because of the left lanes, just not really cooperating at this point, and it hasn't done for the entire telecast, to be honest with you. But let's see what Ryan Barnes can do now. He's still sticking with the same plan. Urethane on the right and reactive on the left. Okay, better shot, but again, it's not quite. It's just not quite hitting hard enough now. It's to me now with the urethane to him on the right lane, it looks like it's done what the left lane's doing, and it's just going like a little bit straighter, not picking up. You can see how light that hit and how far that ball deflected. That it was always kind of going to leave something really. So just made the spare. But considering the start he's had, looks like a ball change coming then. That looks like the phase 2 to me. Yeah. It
sounds like chaos mentally within the game.
I think this is certainly the right move in terms of making a ball change, because that reality didn't look right on the left lane.
The veteran versus the rook.
Let's see what the phase can do. And yeah, it's just a great ball. I mean, it's so predictable. And you can see the difference with how that hit in comparison to his previous shots. Now, if I was Ryan, I would be strongly considering a change to reactive on the right lane. Maybe just go with the phase, because it doesn't. The urethane doesn't look right somehow now. I think he's getting over under for me. Inside he's just through the nose, and outside he's sort of weak for flat 10 or whatever. It's just not quite right. But O'Neill went up a little bit light there, just not quite on it at the moment. But I think the lanes have broken down quite a bit, and they're just getting a little bit trickier.
Semi-final, and the winner in this stepladder format meets 46-year-old Tom Smallwood, who is the Hollywood.
So just wants to take care of the 2-8 here in the 5th frame.
O'Neill.
Yeah, which he does.
Yeah, good cover.
So 22 pins the lead for O'Neill after 5, and considering the start that Barnes has had, he's going to be quite happy with that, I think. Only 22 pins down when he's had 2 open frames. You know, a missed 10 pin and a bad shot to leave the big 4, so it could have been a lot worse.
He's got a real shot at climbing right back into this.
You can see that O'Neill's won 2 majors in his career, looking for his 3rd. That was a really nice shot there. And when that ball is right, you know, yeah, I'm liking the look of that. I think that a lot of players, considering how popular it's been, it's going to be in a lot of players' bags, I feel, that 3.0. But O'Neill, well, he's not stamped his authority on the match, but he does have a lead. So we'll be back for the second half of this match. Okay, and we are back. The second half of the match, Ryan Barnes in the 6th frame, trailing by 22, still sticking with the urethane on the right lane. I'm not so sure if that's the right move or not. Yeah, not a very good shot, to be honest. Yeah, as I mentioned before, considering how that phase hooked on the left lane, I know they're playing differently, but I would have gone to a reactive on the right lane, considering the shots he's had so far with the urethane. I think that would have been the time. Okay, it's a risk. It is a risk, but you're looking at the situation now. He's gone through the nose. He's left a spare So I think that was worth the risk of trying reactive on the right, personally. But he felt urethane was still the best shot for him, but I think we might now see a change. I'd be very surprised if we don't see some sort of change from him going into the 8th frame on the right lane. So back to the phase 2 on the left. Looked very good last time after he made a ball change, so let's see. Oh, not a bad shot, just came up a little bit high.
Frustration.
You know, that was kind of the message I heard from the players this week was when they tried to shape react
spare here, and
really
yeah, this is O'Neill's chance now. I said he's not really stamped his authority on the match as of yet, mainly because he's been unable to string anything together in a large part due to the left lane. But this is his chance now to sort of start to push Ryan Barnes out.
Urethane is a theme in Wichita.
Just real predictable. Once the front part of the lane goes, and that urethane
still sticking with the 3.0.
Lanes get extremely difficult.
Bill O'Neill seeking his 3rd major championship today.
Oh, light. Very light.
That's big. 20 miles an hour.
Oh, he really got away with that one. I think that for O'Neill, yeah, that right lane now is not looking so good for him, and he's actually looking quite good on the left. Just didn't quite get that ball to pick up somehow. But it's a double, and he's now got a 33-pin lead after 7 frames, and a strike here would pretty much almost see him bar any huge disasters. So big shot. Big shot. Oh, this is what I mean. He just can't quite get rid of Barnes, just mainly because he can't string anything together. Okay, it went light, but I mean, it could have gone. It could have been worse. It could have been a 7-10, in all honesty. But
O'Neill owns 15 gold and 24 overall medals in Team USA competition.
yeah, and takes care of that. No problems at all. So pretty much now, he can max for a 227. Barnes can only max for a 205. So, you still need an open frame, really, to give him much chance. If Barnes strikes out for 205, O'Neill's sort of in the 200s at the moment. So if he went 9 spare, 9 spare, that would be, so there's a possibility of a tie.
21 years of age.
But yeah. Anyway, must strike really from Barnes here. Must strike. Yeah, and well, sorry Ryan, but I told you to do that. I did tell you to do that. That was the mistake. You could see. I know it's so easy sitting here watching it because you can see it all and you can see what the ball's doing on each lane. So it's really easy for me or anyone else to see it. When you're actually there and you're bowling and you've got all these things going on, it's very hard. That's why you're kind of relying on the people around you to help you with that. And I'm a little bit surprised somebody didn't tell him to do that, but that was the mistake in the was it the 6th frame? Not make after the commercial break, not go into that phase. And the reason I said it is the phase just looked so good on that left lane that I just felt he had to make the change, but he didn't. So there you go. If he made the change and struck, we could have had a very different match. But he's still not out of it. He's still there. He still has a chance. But as I say, it's easy to say it now and when I'm watching it, but I could just see when he got that phase down, the urethane wasn't looking right. But what can O'Neill do? Well, that's a very late Christmas present for Bill O'Neill, because that was not a good shot. That was probably one of the worst shots I've ever seen Bill throw on TV. That was awful. Just dumped it right inside, and I mean, that was, yeah.
Needs
That was a
spare
light
nine.
Brooklyn as well.
Head
So
scratcher. This sport,
makes a big difference now,
if you're going to win a major, you need a little bit of luck
because
on the
now,
way.
yeah, he needs to spare a 9.
I mean,
Whereas if he went 9 spare, suddenly that's only a touch. So that was huge. And so was that.
beautiful. He's going to bowl for the title against
Well,
Look,
that's going to do it.
the 2 shots he threw on that left lane where he went ring 10 and then he went blower 7.
Not the best from O'Neill. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was there and thereabouts. Just didn't have a lot of luck, you could say, in terms of carry. A couple of shots maybe could have gone. Couldn't quite get it together early on to really put the pressure on Ryan Barnes.
We're just seeing the beginning of Ryan
But Ryan
Barnes.
Barnes, a fantastic performance in his first major PBA telecast.
These guys are all colleagues on
You
the
know,
tour.
winning
He knows
2
how much
matches.
Bill O'Neill, how hard he works, and for Bill,
So I'm not going to be too critical of him. I will just say that in this match, as I mentioned, the one mistake was not making that ball change on the right lane. When he went to the phase, he should have gone to it the next shot. Didn't. Chose to stick with urethane, but that was the error. But, you know, he's young. It's a learning curve. And I think we'll see, well, I don't say I think, we will see more of Ryan Barnes, that's for sure. Because he's shown he's got it in him to win. You know, winning 2 matches. He won the first one, and not only did he win the matches, he won them in different ways. The first one, he just came out and pretty much blitzed his opponent. But the second one, he had to really dig deep and find something in the second half of the game. And he had every chance in this one as well. But let's see. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Ryan. Well, just remember that and learn from that. That you've just got to use that as a learning curve. But you can't knock his performance here, really. It's been solid throughout, and apart from that in this match, he did have an open frame by missing a 10-pin. So, and the big 4 as well. But it will be Bill O'Neill who advances, looking for his 3rd major of his career, but he's got to beat the 1 seed, Tom Smallwood. I can't really call it, to be honest. If I'm honest, I felt that O'Neill was going to win this one, just through experience alone. And it's very hard to run the stepladder and win all your matches. It's not easy. But Ryan Barnes put on a great display, and yeah, unlucky there, Ryan. 205 to 215. And Chris, and then they'll be pretty proud of him. Because what a performance. But it's O'Neill going for the title. Right, so this is it now, the title match. You can see O'Neill, actually, I forgot he finished 3rd last year. He's been very consistent in the last 2 or 3 years. Certainly in the majors, he's always been there or thereabouts. If he's not made the show, he's had good runs. When he has made the show in the last few years, he's always been there and thereabouts, as I say. And this first shot, just going high. But tough one to call, this one. Very tough one. Both players, a lot of experience. They know what it takes to win in these types of matches. It's almost the kind of match where you feel both players are going to cancel each other out potentially. Might not be too much between them. Just depends who can get lined up. I mean, we've got Tom Smallwood coming in here, 21 years, a pro now. I mean, 3 titles. To be honest, could have had a lot more, you would say, for how talented he is, but looking to make it 4 today.
Full roller is unique ball roll. 215 is not going to cut it.
214 average last year. You said it was a tough last season for him.
Oh, as we see there, his first shot. It's always difficult coming in as the 1 seed because you've got no time, really. You're just hoping you line up straight away.
first knuckle.
And this is why, I mean, the two seeds, if you had to pick a favourite out of these two, you'd go O'Neill, just because you know, he's had that match to line up. He's warmed up. He knows where he needs to be. He knows what both lanes are doing. So it's really now down to whether Smallwood can get going early on. I think that shot was, for a first shot, pretty good. So let's see, using the motive jackal by the looks of it there. So let's just see what happens for him. On the left lane, as we said, this has been causing players quite a few issues throughout the day. No, not a bad shot there. So a strike in the second for Tom Smallwood.
Again, see if we can't see the ball rotation and the ring of oil and pick it up in between the fingers and thumb hole. That's kind of hard to see there for me. Traditional ball track would be Bill O'Neill.
O'Neill still sticking with the 3.0.
O'Neill getting past Ryan Barnes to get here.
Oh, wow. That was so wide. And he got away with it. I was just about to say that I wonder if he's considered a ball change, because I'm not sure if it's doing the business on this pair. I'm liking the ball, don't get me wrong. It looks good when it's right, but he's just getting a little bit of a bad reaction, I feel, sometimes on the left lane. He's going a little bit high, and then the right lane, like that, is not turning the corner.
About certain blocks this past week where he could be real,
but he's going to stick with it. I mean, you kind of have to, but I wonder if he did consider a ball change at the end of last game. That looks a little bit better. That was a nice shot. Looked like on that one, he just, I mean, 19.4, yeah, it looks like it moved a little bit right even. It was quite straight. And I think that's what you have to do on that left. For him anyway, that left lane's actually been hooking up a little bit, so. But that was a good shot from O'Neill. Apart from anything else, it's taking a good break and really just adding to that. So Tom. Oh dear, that's unfortunate. I mean, that was a good shot. To me, it looked like he came out of that really well.
The 7-10 split was left 227 times.
He left the 10 pin there on the first frame, but yeah, I mean that was harsh to leave a 7-10 there with that 7 pin wobbling. So a bad break there. Wow, that was close. That was close. Not a bad effort at all there.
We almost just watch history, Randy. Wow.
Thought that was just going to flick round there. Just doesn't. I thought it was going to bounce. No. Unlucky there, but not what you want to see, really.
And that's saying a lot from a guy who's been doing
for Smallwood fans.
Crazy. Wow. All right, see if Smalls can gather himself. Pocket every shot. Yep, good one.
Yeah, not a bad shot. I mean, he's got to watch that left lane because he's having that same sort of reaction that the other players have been having, where it's just going a little bit straight, not quite turning that corner. That's twice now on that lane he's gone light, but he has struck both times. Now, can O'Neill continue with another strike in the fourth? Be interested to see what move he makes on this lane. Does he come hard and straight like the last lane? Well, he was in that. Yeah, that was a good shot. That was a good shot. And I'll tell you why, because on that right lane, he just made the right move there, I feel. It was in the right place, considering he dumped that last one outside. The others haven't really been picking up. He's gone light a few times. But if he's going to play straighter like he did on this left lane, He's certainly got to watch that speed because that ball will hook. But this for a 42-pin lead after 5.
He's always had that about him.
To me, that looked a little bit wider. Not like the shot he had on the last shot on the left lane there.
That means O'Neal is going to slow down just enough.
He just gave that a little bit too much room, and we've just seen it all day that on that lane. It's just it just doesn't want to pick up from there.
4 of our 5 finalists tonight bowled 300s. The only player not to was
So 30 pins the lead at the moment.
Stubler played quite well here today. Ryan Barnes got the best of it.
Yep, and takes care of that. So
2-8 for O'Neal this week.
30 pins, as I say, the lead after 5. Smallwood heading into the 5th. He is working on a double, so
Tom Smallwood qualified
we've got
for his
two
PBA Tour card in 2003.
two shots coming up now that are huge, because if he strikes in both of them, suddenly the lead is down to 10, and then we have a real match.
Found a job at a metal shop, as his then girlfriend, now wife Jennifer, would not marry a man without a regular paycheck. At 30, he decided he was done being a full-time bowler, got laid off by General Motors, gave it one last shot in 2009. Scrambled the money together, $1,500 entry fee, got here to the
And that was a really nice shot from Tom there. Really nice, considering that he's had a 10 pin and then a bad break of a 7-10. It was a nice shot to bounce back there on that right lane. So a big shot now. Again, another guy that I've covered before on one of my videos about his kind of rags to riches story of how he became a pro.
About this guy.
It's incredible.
Great shot. That was his best shot of the match there.
He's got a great ball range.
Really. Now O'Neal,
Another Brooklyn.
I'll tell you what, O'Neal, he's not been on top form. The hands are going up. That's hilarious. There was a little kid there with his hand, like 10-year-old kid just putting his hand up. So there's some more hands as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the hand, I have to say, especially not on a TV show.
This is as good as
But he takes care of it without any problems. So
when you take a look at the max, folks, this is neck and neck. O'Neal and Smallwood, 2 vets, Randy. Wow.
You know, Smallwood's trailing by 9. I like his ball reaction better.
But yeah, O'Neal is just not. Oh dear. I say he's not been right somehow. He's just. I mean, I don't think I've ever really seen him put 2 Brooklyn shots down like that, where he's just dumped it inside. And that one wasn't great either. Again, this is the problem he had. He went light, and then he sort of. I don't know. He's maybe made a small adjustment, but. And doesn't even take the 1. That's not good at all. Yeah, it just I think he's lost his way a little bit here, O'Neal, because he had it on that lane. I felt he had the right shot, the right pace, and the next couple of shots he's just not made good enough shots, quite honestly. For a chance now for Smallwood. He's been given an absolute gift here. He's got the lead, and he can really now extend it. And he does. 15 pins, another really good shot now from Smallwood, and it's swung in his favour now. Now he's got the chance to really start to kick on here. The last 4 or 5 shots from Smallwood have been really excellent. Really, really good. That it's never easy coming in as the 1 seed. But after those couple of shots, the really bad break at the 7-10, he's put that behind him.
break score,
And he's
258
found
for
something here,
Smallwood,
so let's see. Can he continue
233 for
in the
O'Neal.
8th?
Just get
And
lucky.
again, just, I mean, guys, just rewind that and watch that shot again, because that just sums up what I've been saying throughout the whole match. You can see how that ball, it's just so laboured like on the back end. You could think, right, it's going to pick up, and it just doesn't. It's just that area on that lane that you hit. I'm not even sure what board it is. It's somewhere around that kind of area, around the sort of second arrow area. You just hit that certain spot, and it just doesn't pick up. And we've seen that all day from the players. And then they make the adjustment. Oh wow! He missed it. Oh, Tom, wow!
Well, Bill
I can't
O'Neal
believe he just
said
missed
it was
that.
there for the taking for Smallwood. Look at this.
Unbelievable.
I don't know what happened there.
I think he liked this shot when it
Wow.
left his hand, and the ball just never turned over.
Still got a 1-pin lead, but
So O'Neal
yeah,
twice in the 8th.
that's made things interesting. O'Neal with a much better shot, just about turned the corner there.
Looked like it was going to.
Went a little bit wider by the looks of it.
Friction.
But what's he going to do on this lane?
We want to give a big
Because the problem the players are having is they hit that area and they seem to think, right, I've got to make the adjustment, and then it comes up inside. So I think actually what O'Neal did on that lane, I think maybe we haven't actually seen players attacking the left lane from the outside, because maybe they're thinking, oh, it's tight, but I think it might just be tight in that one little area. So maybe we can come out of it and play that sort of shot. Let's see what he does. Well, it was just out. It was certainly more inside on that lane. Yeah, the break point 4.7, and the previous one was about 3 point. Was it 3.8, 3.9? But he just had it in that about the right place. I think he could actually go a little bit further out potentially. But he's settled for that either way, because that's done now. That lane is done. So he'll be finishing on the right lane. Oh no, that all the way, that looks like it was going to turn. It looked, I don't know if it was slow. I mean, I just
when it looked like Smallwood
didn't quite get out of it right. I don't know, but that just didn't look good going down.
Spare and then right through the face.
And this is really now, wow, it's a must make situation really.
$100,000 in the balance.
Well,
All but over.
I feel sorry for Tom there, because I think that miss just rattled him a little bit there in the 8th frame. Don't know. I think it just rattled him because he just didn't make a good shot there in the 9th somehow. He just didn't come out of it right. And I mean, if you look at that game there, 10-pin strike, 7-10, and some great shots there in that little run of strikes. And just unfortunately, just didn't make the 2-8, and that's really cost him the match. But oh dear! And again, another example in that area where it just doesn't pick up. But yeah, that's obviously the match was over anyway. But Bill O'Neal, he's your champion for his 3rd major. He's not particularly done it in any great, say, style in terms of he hasn't dominated. He's struggled a little bit along the way, thrown some errant shots, a couple of Brooklyns as well, but he's done enough. That's the thing, and this is what you've got to do sometimes. You know, this sort of level, you're not always going to come out and blitz the competition. But he managed to do enough against Ryan Barnes, and he found something here later on. Another shot in, so it doesn't matter anyway, but he is your winner. I mean, I'm not sure when he reflects upon this, these two matches, I think you think, how did I win that? Because Tom was looking good, and some at one point so was Ryan, but Anil's done enough there, and he is your PBA Players Champion, and it's been a really fun telecast actually. I've really enjoyed breaking this down, and I thought I would break it all down like this as it's the first one. We've kind of been waiting for the PBA to return, and starting off with a major event is always pretty fun. So I hope you've enjoyed this breakdown, and let me know in the comment section if you've liked this entire telecast breakdown, because I might well do the same thing for the US Open, which is the next tournament coming up, I think next month in early February. So that's always going to be a great tournament, the US Open. That's the one that I certainly enjoy. Hard to call, really, and it's always hard to call at the start of the season because players are coming in, you don't know who's on form, you don't know kind of how things are going to pan out. But O'Neill, this has been quite a long time coming, I feel, for Bill O'Neill. He's been getting close for the last 2 or 3 years at the major events, and he's finally got one. He's got his 3rd major win, and yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed me breaking down this telecast, and if you have, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. There'll be more videos coming your way, and as I say, I will definitely do another breakdown for the US Open. If you want access to me breaking down pretty much every single PBA show, then you can always join my Patreon and also my YouTube membership, and you'll get exclusive access to videos that won't be available on YouTube, where very much like this, I break down telecasts new and old. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next time.